All right, welcome to Y Space.
Hey guys,
Hello, Becca. How are you?
I am good. We're in the throes of summer over here, so trying
Okay.
to soak up all the sun outside when we can
Yeah.
before San Antonio turns into the deepest pits of
Later.
hell with its
Yeah.
heat.
Mm-mm.
But we were at the pool yesterday, and I was trying to get some sun before we go
Yeah.
on vacation next week, so I don't like get
Right.
scorched. And literally, I'm laying out there, and I had just looked up Jamie B. Golden on her website. I
Uh-huh.
looked up like some skincare tips, and I had gone back to some of her empties. And so
Uh-huh.
I'm laying there with the sun beating me, and instantly sat up, and I was like, Jamie would be so upset. So I'm like doing sunscreen.
Yeah,
Can't
I am the worst. I am the worst, clearly, about sunscreen, but especially with Judd. And
Yeah.
he totally puts me out there when he's with other parents and they're like, okay, everybody needs to put sunscreen on. He's like, we never do. Thanks. Thank you.
Hold your thoughts captive.
If we could swallow the word.
That's right.
Yeah, I need to do better at that. We were in Arkansas last weekend, and it was, I don't know, we had to go to this birthday party out on a football field, and it was probably like 95, 96, and it felt like being on the equator. And then it's so weird because, like, yesterday I was at Judd's lacrosse, and I think it was 95. Felt as pleasant as could be. I just don't understand.
I'm telling you, weather doesn't make sense. It was 102 and the wind was blowing. And I was like, guys, let's get outside. It's gorgeous.
It's
And then
cold.
the other day it was like 96 degrees. And as soon as you step out, you just are drenched in sweat and no one
Yeah.
wants to live that life. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't understand it. There was a cloud last night. Doug and I always go on a walk after dinner. And there was
Mhm.
like a cloud that had like a tip coming down and they were dark clouds and it was windy. And I was like, that's a funnel cloud. We're fixing to have a tornado. And Doug's like, that's definitely just a rain cloud. And I was like, that's a funnel cloud. I've seen Twister.
Oh, I take that to I've not gotten to meet or talk to Doug, but I'm assuming he is not the same, like, he doesn't have his when I die planner ready.
No,
Okay.
no. Doug
That's
just
right.
assumes that everything's going to work out
Yeah,
perfect.
that's Aaron.
If
Mhm.
it doesn't, he's always got an answer to it and can fix
Yep,
it. But
yep.
mentally, he just lives in everything's fine. And I never lived that life.
Nope, never, not a
It's
minute.
also why he rarely has gray hairs, and my head is full of them. So,
Aaron has sprouted a little one tiny gray hair in his beard, and I think it is chef's kiss, and he's like, "What? Where?" And I'm like, "Please don't touch it. It's beautiful." Yet I get discolored all the time. So
yeah,
there's
ridiculous.
um so y'all are
We have,
about to go on vacation.
we leave for Hawaii Saturday, and I am pumped.
I'm so excited for y'all, but yet so shocked that you would like willingly, I don't know, put yourself in a metal can over water. Like it just seems off brand for you.
It
Hope
is.
too
So
much.
I finished my if I die, this is
Okay,
what I
good.
need to do because again, I think
Right.
that was one of Jamie's favorites on the podcast one week, and I was
Yeah.
like, need that.
Yep.
So I finished that, and then through work we have like an employee assistance, whatever, where you can do different things. And so
Uh-huh.
I put together a will last night. You can do that. So I've got to go get that notarized.
Okay. Yep.
So that's on great.
Cool.
We were
I don't know if you know this, but some people when they get ready for vacation, they just pack their bags.
I
It's weird.
know.
It's weird.
I am impressed by them. I don't know that life.
Oh, those pioneers in the faith. Like I just
Right. God. We were
God.
booking excursions the other night of like things that we want to do while we're there. And so I was picking like some hiking things. I'll snorkel. I'm not scuba diving. We're not going that
Okay.
deep, but I'll
Yeah.
snorkel.
Mhm.
And so then Doug's over there and he's booking like parasailing.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
we're
Our
gonna
life
launch ourselves in the air?
is hanging by a piece of cord and the wind.
No.
I was like, he goes to book it, and I was like, that's imminent death. That's what
Well,
we're trying to orphan our children.
listen, I have always felt as if the Lord wanted me to fly, I would have come with wings.
Right. It's just not necessary.
And while I might soar on wings like an eagle, that is not what he meant in
He
Isaiah.
gave
Okay.
us feet for a reason.
Mhm. Yep.
I'll stand on that holy ground.
Well, there you go. I can't wait for you to get back just to hear all about it. We may have to do a whole episode just on your survival. And I know so much is going to happen, but we do have a special guest while you're out. So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be spicy, I can already tell.
It'll be something. That'll be for sure. Well, we have a good episode today. I did want to cover something quickly that we have briefly texted about this morning, that has happened apparently, allegedly recently. And I'm only going to talk about it because his mother has now confirmed it. But one Maddie Healy has betrothed himself and is now engaged to Gabriette. I don't know how you say her name. And I saw today an interesting statement from his mom. So Maddie Healy's mom, if you don't know, is like a media personality in the UK, I guess, like talk show-ish is what I've understood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, she put out a statement, quote, I have known for a few weeks that Maddie got engaged, which my ad lib, I think they've been engaged for a long time, but whatever. She said they went over to see their friends Charlie and George in New York. So if you're not familiar, Maddie is the lead singer of 1975, and George is like his best friend. He's always been in the 1975 with him. And he is engaged to Charlie XCX, which we will touch on in just a second. She said, I woke up this morning to the fact they put it on Instagram official. He got engaged to Gabriette, Black Diamond. He had it made for her. Couldn't be more thrilled. She's from LA. She's absolutely gorgeous. She does have a rat.
A rat?
A rat. Like a.
Oh, a rat.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. So, and then she says, we couldn't be happier. She is everything that I would want in a daughter-in-law. The person that retweeted this said, quote, she does have a rat. Well, congrats, girl. Now you have two. So if you're not familiar, though, the reason I also wanted to highlight this, we obviously have talked a lot about TTPD and the fact that, a lot of these songs are about him. But also Charlie XCX. She, back in the day, was an opening act for Taylor, I think the 1989 tour.
Okay. I know I've heard the name, couldn't tell you anything about it.
Well, it's so weird. I was just talking to Aaron about this because Charlie's doing some listening parties for her new music. I didn't know she still was alive. And at her most recent listening party / concert-esque kind of thing, the crowd started chanting, Die Taylor Die, and she didn't stop them.
Do you think she understood what they were saying?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't mean Taylor Swift, but yeah,
whoever Taylor is, that's
just a lot. That's pretty much where I'll leave it. But congrats to Maddie and Gabriette. Bless her. She's got two rats. I mean, it's no lie.
There you go.
All right. Do you want to, so now that we've covered that startling news, do you want to go sports or entertainment first?
Let's do sports because I think that might take us a little while, and I think we can get through some of the others. There's a lot of sports stuff going on.
There is a lot of sports stuff. Let's talk about the Olympics.
Oh, man. By the time this airs, the Olympic trials have started this past weekend. So
that's right. Yeah. If you are uninterested in the Olympics, you will want to tune out from this show for July and August. This will not be your home, I can assure you. But if you prefer more of that content than Taylor, it could be more of your show. Not that you won't get both. But the U.S. women's basketball, I mean, listen, I don't really understand this, but we have the U.S. women's basketball team, and then we have the 3x3 basketball team.
Yes.
So we got the 5x5, which is normal basketball. You have 5 people on the court. And then we got the 3x3, which I always thought was like pickup games, but apparently everything is an Olympic sport now.
Yeah.
And so let's start with the 3x3 U.S. women's team. We've got Cameron Brink, Sierra Burdick. That sounded right. Haley Van Leith and Ryan Howard. So if you don't know Cameron Brink, she plays for the LA Sparks now. She's looks like a model. Her god brother is Steph Curry. And I'm just increasingly impressed with her, not necessarily her athletic prowess, but just the way she's handling the media. I think really anybody kind of looks better right now in the light than Angel Reese does. But I just have been impressed kind of by the way
Yeah.
Cameron has handled everything lately.
Yeah, there are some that I don't even know if I would say it's media training that they have. There's just a different level of maturity, which a lot of it could also be just the environments that they came from, the schools that they came from, and kind of the mentorships that they received there. I think probably matured some of them as opposed to some of the other schools. But yeah, she's very impressive.
Yeah, and so tall. The only other
Insane.
note I had on this one was Haley Van Leith. She's a point guard. She just recently, she's kind of been all over the world. She started in Louisville. I think she started in Louisville, went to LSU. Now she's going to play for TCU.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe she's drama. I don't know. But so I think that their lineup looks fine. I know that Ryan Howard, she plays for the WNBA. She was the rookie of the year 2 years ago when she was drafted. So I guess we'll see. I don't really understand why we have two different teams, but here we are.
I also think it's interesting that some things you go to like the Olympic trials and you have tryouts basically to get onto the Olympic team. And then some teams, your players are picked by like a panel of directors or something. So that's always how we decide who has to try out for a team and who just gets picked.
Yeah, and so that kind of leads to the 5x5 team. So if you haven't seen, there's been a lot of hoopla around this because Caitlin Clark did not make the women's Olympic team.
Right.
A lot of people are very unhappy. One day Portnoy is very alarmed. And I'll be honest, I think it's weird too. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how you do it. But I think there is some kind of like blood in the water about this because some of the coaches who are responsible for picking, a couple of them, like first weekend of WNBA season, kind of retweeted some stuff and maybe had some hashtags that were about like basketball is not all about one player, and maybe just kind of gave off the vibe that they weren't Caitlin fans and didn't like the fanfare. And then I've seen some of their comments have been like, we didn't pick players based on who would get viewers. We picked players on who would help us win.
But did you?
Yeah, which, okay, I like to win. I'm super competitive. Right. I like, and the Olympics is one place I do not want to lose.
Right.
But I'm going to argue that you probably would have had the same chances, if maybe not a little bit more, if you had Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't understand their reasoning. And I think some of them came out and said, like, we didn't put her on there because we didn't want her fan base to be upset that she wasn't going to have as much playing time. And I was like, that seems like you guys sat in a room and were like, what could we say to save face right now? I mean, here's the thing. They have some great players on the team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you also have
some think they'll win. I mean, I don't think that's the question.
But I don't know. I guess I could kind of go either way on it. On the one hand, yeah, for viewership, it'd be great to have her. But I think you've got some players on there that are going to get your views. On the other hand, I was like, maybe she needs a break from being the one in the media constantly. I don't know. I was not near as upset as Dave was.
No, I mean, and hey, I like Caitlin, but I don't know that I stand Caitlin the way Dave does. But I'm going to be honest. This is my opinion of what has happened, and this is, I guess, a bit speculative. But you've got people like Brittany Griner, who, first of all, has been injured a lot of this season. So that's kind of weird. Not that they play the same position, but I'm just saying she did take up a roster spot. Kelsey Plum, who I think wholeheartedly should be there, of course. Breanna Stewart, of course, she should be there. Sabrina, she should be there. Aja Wilson, clearly she's the best WNBA player out there. Here's why I think Caitlin didn't make it, though. Taurasi's on the list. And Taurasi has been near quiet about her thoughts and feelings, and she's 42 now. I think, like, clearly this is her last Olympics as a player. I think that Caitlin is not on the roster to give Taurasi her last hoorah at the Olympics.
It's possible. It would make sense, and I would understand that. You hate to see it. You hate for there to be that divide or that attention now taken away from the Olympic team because people are upset that Caitlin's not on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have other Olympics where I'm sure Caitlin will make it on there. So it's just one of those things where it does seem a little bit iffy. I did see, I think Dawn Staley was one of the people that helped pick the Olympic teams. She's a huge Caitlin fan.
Yeah.
So that's, I was kind of like, maybe people are reading more into this than was actually there. Who knows?
Well, and I will say,
one person, but
I will say with the 5x5 team, obviously all of the people on the 5x5 team are veterans. Even if they're young veterans, like Sabrina's only like 23, she's still a veteran. And whereas complete opposite side on the 3x3, like Cameron is a rookie. I mean, Haley Van Lee's not even in the WNBA. So I did wonder if maybe that played into it. They didn't pick any rookies, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I still think please, with that lineup anyway, they don't need Caitlin necessarily. I just think it's an odd vibe with what's been going on in the media.
I kind of think they're still going to get the views because you've already got the attention. So now even the people that are upset that you didn't put Caitlin on the team are going to watch because maybe they're weird and they just hope that you lose because you don't have Caitlin so they can be like, told you so.
Right.
Either way, you're getting the view. So we'll see how that
works. We will see. And of course, Caitlin has handled it as I would have expected her to say, like, with grace and kind of just with class. I mean, she may not be classy on the court with her whining, but girl is media trained for
she
sure.
Does very well in the media.
So we'll see. We'll switch gears to the NFL. Mandatory mini camps began this week for all the teams. Mr. Aaron Rodgers is MIA and unexcused absence, according to Coach Sela at the Jets. Apparently, I saw yesterday where he said that Aaron has some event that is very important to him.
Right.
But yet, like, where is he in underground again? Because this event is obviously not public. So I don't know what's up with that. I think, and then Hassan Reddick, who got traded from the from the Eagles to the Jets, has not shown up, has not talked to anyone. I think that dude is this. No, like, what? You got a job and you didn't even call somebody? Like, what is happening?
I'm always shocked by this. Like, you signed a big contract for a lot of money, and the head coach is like, I haven't talked to him. I just feel like if my boss hired somebody and we haven't talked to them and they didn't show up, like, there's some stuff going on. We got to get this handled.
Yeah.
It's always weird, and they have to pay a fine for it. And I realize you've got millions of dollars. But even if I was a millionaire, I feel like I would still be a little fiscally responsible here and be like, please don't, fine me $250,000 for not showing up.
For having an attitude problem is all I can assume. Like, I don't know. I kind of wondered if Aaron is like, I don't want to get hurt in mandatory mini camp, or I have been faking it and my foot is still not completely healed the way I've pretended all this time. I don't know. I
don't think we're going to know what he truly is until their first game.
No.
Not preseason, because I don't think he's going to play preseason.
Nope. I don't think he will at all.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
Y'all have fun with that. That's all I can say. I do not like that dude. I'm out.
No.
Okay, NFL on CBS had an Instagram post this week that I thought was pretty good, ranking the new quarterback wide receiver duos for 2024. I'm going to start at 10 and just kind of go back real quickly to 1. 10 was Russell Wilson and George Pickens. 9, Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey. I don't know.
That looks right.
8, Will Levis and Calvin Ridley. 7, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. 6, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. 5, Josh Allen and Keon Coleman. 4, JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. Which, side note on that, I don't think JJ has been confirmed as the starter, right?
I don't know that anyone has, so they were probably just shooting their shot with.
Okay, good. 3, Kirk Cousins and Drake London. 2nd, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then number 1, CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs. How do you feel about this top 10?
Not the top 10 I probably would have picked.
No.
I just don't know.
I read this and I was like, huh, Kyler Murray at number 2?
When I saw Kyler, I was like, are we even sure homeboy's going to play? He's always injured.
Well, and I mean, I can believe that Marvin Harrison Jr. is probably legit. But yeah, and I just thought, like, really, we didn't have Patrick and Xavier Worthy on here?
No.
Or Patrick and Hollywood Brown? Not even the top 10?
No.
And you know what I thought to myself when I saw him missing with both of those receivers? Good. Because they do nothing better than when they are, like, doubted. So I was like, oh, good. Yes.
Well, and after they left so many of these people off, and then you have, like, Kirk Cousins, who was out a huge chunk of last season. We don't even know if he rehabbed well, if he can play well when he comes back. So I'm like, maybe we just picked, like, this is going to be a fun show to watch. Let's put these people together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Otherwise, I have no idea how they came up with this ranking.
Yeah, I think the whole thing was just super strange. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back at the end of the season and see how they fared.
Yeah.
We have an audience question in the sports section. We've got a whole slew of them at the end. Again, thank you all for these, but this one kind of was fitting for the sports section. And I don't know who you are, Brian. Thanks for listening. But holy mess, this was really hard. Yeah, so Brian's question was, who is your best player pick per NFL division and then conference, then overall, and why? And I do appreciate that you threw in the why. That's clearly the point of the show.
The why
factor? So I guess let's start on the AFC side of the world. Oh, maybe I didn't even do this right. No, I didn't. Oh, no. Okay. Well, here we go. Anyway, I'll start with you. AFC East. Let's go East first. So we've got Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Okay. Before I give my answers, I just need a little caveat here that if you are expecting an answer based on stats, skip this section. I went on vibes.
Okay, got it. All right.
Because some of these, I just don't like the team. There might be one player on the team, and I'm like, you all are dead to me. So,
okay.
AFC East, I went Josh Allen. Only because he's always in the conversation. And I truly, in my core, believe that Diggs was so toxic that he screwed the whole team. So I really think we're going to see a different Josh Allen this year. So I went with him for AFC East.
I also picked Josh Allen. I saw a stat the other day that I didn't realize. I mean, like, again, I didn't go based off statistics, but his numbers, like, he really should be winning more than they do, which when it comes to the regular season, they do fantastic.
Right.
I agree. I think the Stephon Diggs was a problem, but I also think that this is a make it or break it year for Josh Allen and the whole Bills, like, coaching staff. I mean, I don't think they're quite at a, like, let's burn it all down if we get screwed up again like the Cowboys are. But, I mean, I think the coaches are for sure in a, like, win or get fired thing. Yeah, but I kind of feel like this with Josh, too. Like, put up or shut up at this point. But I went with him.
His contract to see how much longer he has with them.
I haven't either, but it's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I went with him because, I mean, Patriots and Jets, I didn't even consider. Sorry. I mean, obviously there were a few names on the Dolphins, but I think overall it had to be Josh. AFC North, we've got Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers.
So I went TJ Watt from the Steelers on this one. I just all around defensive player. I think he's one of the best. He never wins the awards for what I think he should.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at those teams, I would take him 100%.
Okay. I was a little conflicted on this one. I'll go ahead and throw it out there if you're curious. I was not even considering Lamar Jackson.
Same.
My guy just really, like, I mean, talk about put up or shut up. Like, there ain't nothing there. And watch him win it all this season, and more power to him. I went kind of rogue, I feel like. I went Russell Wilson.
I almost did him.
So I think Russell is pissed.
Yes.
And I think I don't know. I think they're building something in Pittsburgh because, it was like this time last year. I remember listening to New Heights and they were like, Jason and Travis were mad that people were saying Mike Tomlin should be fired. And now he's signed a whole new deal. And I've seen where a lot of players are saying, like, if I can get traded, I want to go to Pittsburgh. Micah Parsons has said that. CD Lamb, a lot of people, who doesn't want out of Dallas. But
Right.
But I think that Russ is pissed on how Seattle treated him, the debacle in Denver, and I don't know. I mean, he's got some good weapons, so I'm going Russ. We'll see.
I like it.
All right. AFC South, Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans.
So this one, I'm not a big Jaguars, Titans, Colts fan. So I went CJ Stroud just because he was so much fun to watch last year. And I really do think that they've built to be able to contend again this year with the big teams. So I'm going CJ Stroud on that one. Who do you have?
Yeah, so I put CJ Stroud / Tank Dell because I think I love the combination of them, but I also think people, clearly NFL on CBS is all about, Stephon Diggs is there now.
Yeah.
Listen, CJ and Tank already have the chemistry.
Right.
And so I think, too, if Tank had not gotten hurt at the end of last season, I think the Texans had a better shot. So, and I'm sure he's probably going to get arrested tomorrow, but I really love what I know so far of CJ Stroud. It seems like a really legit dude. So that's who I went with.
I like it.
All right.
AFC West.
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
Well, I feel like this one's a given, but if we're going player out of all those teams, you have to go Mahomes.
Yeah, same.
Easy.
I mean, needs no commentary. Now so we'll do the AFC first. So that is by division. Who is your top player for the AFC conference?
I did Mahomes for top player out of that conference as well. He's proven himself over and over again. It's hard to pick just one when you're offense, defense, but overall, I would have to go with Mahomes.
Yeah, so that was what happened in my notes. I mean, obviously I had Patrick. I did pick an offense and defense person on both divisions or conferences. So I had Chris Jones, which I know a lot of people would say on the AFC side, like, oh, what about Joey Bosa or, whatever.
We're never going to pick Bosa. So
well, wait till we get to the NFC. I have some things I'm not comfortable even saying, but I don't know. I just think CJ, I freaking love the dude. I'm so pumped Judd is going to his camp in a few weeks. But, I think when you talk about interior defenders, 91 quarterback pressures, and we're not talking like a spring chicken here.
Right. It is impressive.
I just, I'm telling you, defense wins championships. But, okay, so then on the NFC side, let's start in the East. We got the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Commanders.
All right. Obviously, you could take Cowboys players out of that one. I went A.J. Brown. I just think he is a dominant receiver for the Eagles. He is so much fun to watch. And I enjoy when he does interviews. I enjoy hearing him talk, how he analyzes plays in the game and how he talks about his teammates and the people he contends with. So that was an easy choice for me to go A.J. on that one. And the pink cleats. Come on.
Clearly. You and Wyatt, Kelsey. And right. So I think you're going to be a little bit shocked.
Oh, no.
I went Devontae Smith.
Okay. That's a good pick, though.
So I originally wrote down AJ. I originally wrote down AJ as well. But I just have this feeling that Devontae is going to have, I feel like AJ is going to get double teamed a lot. And I feel like that's going to leave him open. Yeah. He's so dang fast.
He is quick.
And I truly think what the Eagles, who the beat knows what's going to happen with the Eagles. Again, I've said it almost every episode, but with that roster, if y'all can't win it all, you just need to stop. Yeah. But I do believe the now hole of Jason Kelsey on that offensive line is going to force Jalen to speed up the game, and he's already pretty fast. But I think the pressure on him is going, especially at the beginning of the season, is going to be coming real fast. And so I feel like having Devontae be as fast as he is going to be a really good weapon.
Right. Well, and you've got who's their backup this year? The name just left me.
Jalen's backup?
Yep. They just got him this year.
You shouldn't have asked me.
I shouldn't. Anyway,
Joe
but
Flacco.
he's-
No. What am I, ridiculous? No. Kenny Pickett.
Pickett. I was like, blonde hair. I'm seeing the blonde
Why
hair.
did I say Joe Flacco? I don't even know. I'm not even drinking. I don't drink, so.
But I think that now that you have a solid backup that could potentially step in and take over and do really well, I do feel that that puts more pressure on your star quarterbacks when they know, hey, if I get injured, if something happens and this person has to step in, a lot of times whoever steps in is not going to be great. They're not going to be comfortable and they're not going to do as well. But when you have somebody like Pickett who can come in and pick up because he's used to playing, I think that puts that pressure on Jalen to maybe his game this year. Whatever struggle he had last year that nobody could figure out what was going on, I'm hoping they get that answered this year, and we see a different Jalen.
Well, and listen, here's the thing. I don't think Jalen Hurts watches the show, but if he does, we should have had an easy pick in Jalen Hurts.
100%.
Should have been a no-brainer, but after last season, he wasn't even in my top 5, honestly.
I didn't even consider him.
And so I'm like, that's just wild. Like,
yeah, something had to have happened in the locker room last year. We could go on a tangent on this.
Nick Sirianni, I'm telling you right now, I'm convinced. Yeah. Okay, let's go north, which, Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
I went Aiden Hutchinson on this line. Their edge rusher. He's I enjoyed watching him in college at Michigan. He is just so dang quick for such a big guy. And he can sack a quarterback like nothing. So I really enjoy watching him. So I went with that pick.
I went with Justin Jefferson simply because if Judd was to ever listen to this episode and he found out that I didn't pick him, I don't need bad blood at home. But I also do believe that Justin is going to have a big year because I think even with this new money, I think my guy still wants to win. And so I think he's going to try to find a way out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so I think he needs a breakout season. And I think honestly, based on their other weapons, they're going to have to rely on him. So, we'll see, but I do love Aiden Hutchinson. So I like that pick. I will also say in the North, Slim Pickens,
not my favorite,
but the South ain't much better. We got the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, and the Bucks.
Okay. So listen, for the South and the West, I really had to go on some vibes here. I struggled trying to find anybody I liked. So for NFC South, Baker Mayfield, and literally the only reason I went with Baker, his wife seems really fun, and I like commercials.
Okay, all right. Well, there you have it.
On stats.
Okay, there you have it. So I think you're going to be totally shocked at my pick here. I went with Bryce Young.
Stop.
I know. I knew you would be floored.
Won't he
and y'all should know. So the way we do our show notes, we put the agenda, but then we have our individual notes. And I could not wait to get to that part. If you don't know, I hate Alabama. I loathe everything about the state, the team, everything. And Bryce Young, bless his heart. Honestly, I picked him because I just feel so sorry for him. Talk about somebody that's having to carry an entire franchise that probably at this point should call it quits. I don't even know that we need a team in Charlotte anymore. It's rough. But I think that my best friend Megan is a huge Saints fan. Bless y'all. There ain't nothing there. The Falcons, again, nothing. I thought about Baker. Here's the reason I didn't end up going with Baker. Last year, I would have picked Baker because he had something to prove to get a deal. Now he's got his deal. And so I'm like, what's he going to be really playing for? I don't know. So I went Bryce Young.
Okay, I'm here for it.
It's a new day in America.
I was Bryce, and then I was like, I will get slaughtered for that. And he did not prove himself last year. But my man is bulked up in the offseason. We've got some arm muscle going on.
Listen, as much as I hate everything about Alabama,
can't block, but
listen, as much as I hate everything about Alabama, I can't see a former Alabama quarterback being able to stomach 2 losing seasons
No.
without just laying his whole life on the line.
No.
So,
and you went from playing for Alabama in these sold out stadiums, being the talk of the town, to you guys can barely get 100 people watching your games. Like that has to be so demoralizing for a player. Like, what are we even playing for here? That's
so I think
game.
Bryce is going to show up because Bryce wants to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And he needs to show that he's still got it and can compete in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what I
agree with that.
Okay, let's see. West. Cardinals, 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks.
This one pained me just a smidge. Just
Okay.
a smidge. But I went with Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
The running.
Listen, I know it's tough.
Listen, out of those teams, if you're going for the best, 49ers are by far the best.
Oh, yeah, please. Yeah.
And as much as like I do think that Christian is aging a little bit in NFL, and I don't know that he's taking the hits as well as some of the older guys, I do think what he's proved so far, he's easily could take the best player in that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this week too, Christian, it was announced that he's on the cover of Madden. Was it 24, 25? I don't even know. I easily could have picked him as well. And it's funny because I'll get to that in a second. But for this actual division, I went with Brock Purdy. Because I just feel like he's consistent. Now, is he consistent elite? No, but he's consistent. It's a lot like Justin Herbert. Dude's not winning games, but he's consistent. But also I feel like, you know, he walked into that scene at the Super Bowl and should have been scared out of his mind. He probably was, but he was calmer and better under pressure than McCaffrey was.
That's true.
So, because I'm going to say that I really believe that McCaffrey fumble was the beginning of the end for them. I think that demoralized everything.
Yeah.
So I went Brock Purdy. Who did you pick for the division? I mean, the conference.
Well, I mean, since that conference really isn't our favorite and tough, I went AJ Brown, took the division.
Okay.
For the conference.
Got it. So I had to go Nick Bosa. I can't. I know. I should probably just call it a day, right?
You and the Lord need to go have some time together today because these picks.
If y'all don't know, I hate Nick Bosa. But this is the one pick that I went simply off stats. I mean, 122 total pressures. He had 12 in the Super Bowl. He's got a 92.2 PFF overall grade and a 92.3 pass rushing grade. I mean, as a human, can't stand the dude. But, I mean, they don't have much to write home about in the NFC. So,
it's true.
That's what I went with.
Okay. Let's move on from this.
Okay, yeah. All right. I believe that's all we have in the sports category.
It is. Well, we do need to talk about, because we always talk about drama in sports, that now the hot dog eating contest every July, there's now drama.
Yes.
Because Joey Chestnut banned for the year.
And he's banned because he was, what was it? He was going to be a spokesperson for the vegan, or what was it?
He signed a deal with a vegan hot dog company, so plant-based hot dogs. And so Nathan's was like, no.
Do you eat hot dogs?
Once in a blue moon when I'm like, I just don't want to cook. No one in my house likes them. Nobody really eats them, but it's that one thing you do, like, well, I made dinner. If you didn't eat it.
Now, Judd will eat a hot dog. I don't know that Aaron will. I can't even really remember. I will eat a hot dog at a baseball game or a cookout, but I'm not going to like head to Walmart, pick up some Nathan's and cook one in my house. I'm just not going to. But vegan, like what? I don't even understand.
It's those people that eat like the chicken and the hamburger patties that are plant-based. And listen, I've never tried it. I'm not going to knock it. I'm good with meat. I feel like God gave us animals to eat, and I'm going to at least do that part right. So if that's your thing, that's your thing. I just think it's interesting for Nathan's to come out and take such a stand because, A, nobody knew he signed with a vegan company.
No. And nobody watches it for any other reason but Joey Chestnut.
That's exactly right. Literally, people only watch this competition to see him and to see if anybody can knock him off of winning. So I did see it was on Twitter and somebody had posted about him being banned. And then every comment after it was like, I'm never buying Nathan's again. We're boycotting Nathan's. And I was like, this really backfired on them.
Yeah. I mean, people are out completely.
Yeah.
I totally forgot too, speaking on the sports. I don't know if you know this, but the NBA playoffs are
What game are we on? 15?
oh my God.
It's 2.
I just love it every time. Game 3 is tonight at 7:30. The Celtics are up 2-0. This one is
total. Is it 5? Best out of 5?
Is
It's
it
7.
5 or 7?
It's probably
I
7.
don't know. It's too much, whatever it is, people. Too much.
I just feel like these players never have time to like rest and rehab.
Well,
Always
so
playing.
I haven't watched much of it. In fact, Judd was the one that told me yesterday. He said, "Did you know that the Mavericks have lost twice now to the Celtics?" And I was like, "My God, it's still happening." But I did see that Luka, I don't know what happened in game 1, but he showed up to game 2 with an ace bandage around his chest, his knee. He had a thoracic contusion. What is this, boxing? I don't even understand.
I don't. When they were, I guess that they were singing or doing the play, whatever they were doing at the beginning of the game, and they pan to him, and he's just like completely wrapped
Like a
up.
mummy. Like,
are you actually hurt? Or are you trying to deter the other team? Whatever you did didn't work. But
nope. They're in so they're back in Dallas. The first 2 games were in Boston. They're in Dallas tonight. So I don't know. We'll see. But God, if I have to talk about the NBA playoffs again next week, I am done.
Catch us on the last game. We'll pay attention to that one.
I'm out completely.
Gosh.
On to topics that we enjoy speaking about. Let's talk about the little Taylor segment. We need to come up with a name for our Taylor segment. Taylor Talk?
Taylor Talk. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. We're always so quick on that. Yeah. It's always good. So she just finished up a couple of shows in Edinburgh, which is in Scotland. And while we have owned that time zones completely confuse us, now weather also completely confusing. Listen, we knew it was hot in Brazil, but I had no idea that our girl was like freezing to death in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Like, how cold. I mean, they are alarmed that she was wiping snot. I'm like,
listen, that's the only thing she's having to wipe while she's still up there in like a little skirt and top.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be frozen stiff.
Did you see the clip of her talking to the dancers during the midnight section when she takes off that big fluffy coat? And she was like, I want to keep it.
I'd have been like, I'm Taylor Swift. I'm keeping this thing on.
Well, you know, in the TTPD, I think it was the last night, she normally, I can't remember. I think normally she doesn't have gloves on. Well, she had on the little tiny black gloves. And of course, everybody was like, oh, it's because she's cold. I'm sure it's an Easter egg. But also, the night before, her hands cramped so bad in the surprise song, she had to stop. So, I don't know, people. I had no idea. We're sweltering in the States.
Right.
God. Do they not have global warming in the UK?
Doesn't she have somebody on her team that like pays attention to the weather?
Well, what's she going to do?
I don't, maybe have put them in a different, this tour's been going on for years. You could have picked a different season to put that group in.
Maybe we could have been in Brazil right now instead of when it was 405 degrees. Yeah, that's a good point. I thought you meant like she would change her costumes. I was like, what's she going to put on?
No. Listen, Taylor Nation, when you need me as an intern, I got you on weather.
Yeah, we can figure that out. Time zones. Right. We're not. But I want to talk about the surprise songs, which I still am never probably going to get over the fact that you don't like them, but I'm going to talk about it anyway.
And listen, in the notes, Mandy typically just puts the letters.
Oh,
the acronyms. At the time, I have no idea. I will stare at them forever. I'll lay in bed and I'll be looking at Doug and I'm like, you know what that means? And then he just doesn't even respond because of course he doesn't.
Well, I only had one acronym this time because that song title is so long. I can't write it out. There are 2. Well, that first one, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that song. So night 1, she did let me make sure before I lie. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I was going to say was I was just confirming that everything is a mashup from Edinburgh, and it is. She didn't do any solo songs. Night 1, she did a mashup of Would've, Could've, Should've, and I Know Places. So back to our whole theory that potentially she's telling a story here. I couldn't begin to tell you what that story would be.
No.
Because those two songs are from two completely different time periods, different relationships, different circumstances. I got nothing. So whatever she's saying there, I'm out. Then she did "'Tis the Damn Season" and "Daylight." Ooh, now that is talking to me. "Daylight" is one of my like top three.
Yes.
And I love "'Tis the Damn Season." That's the song that in my head is my song for my book. So I'm liking that, but also I'm like, what are we trying to tell us here?
Yeah.
And then so on night 2, I don't even know if you caught why this is funny. She did the bolter in the getaway car, which I realize in theory the names are funny, that like she's bolting in the getaway car. But also she sang "Getaway Car" in Scotland. Do you know who's from Scotland?
Who?
Calvin Harris. Do you know who the "Getaway Car" song is in reference to? She had to get away with Tom Hiddleston from Calvin Harris. And I am here for Petty Taylor. It is my favorite Taylor.
It's my favorite version of her.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then she did "All of the Girls You've Loved Before," which again, could we have a longer song title? And then for the first time in 15 years, she did "Crazier" from the Hannah Montana movie that starred Miley Cyrus. There are rumors.
Wild on that.
Yeah, people lost their minds. Fun fact. 2 fun facts, actually.
Can't wait.
During the filming of that movie, Taylor dated Lucas Till, who was the main male character.
Yes.
You know what his character's name was on the movie?
I did see that.
Travis. I was like, well, this couldn't be better. There are rumors, of course. I don't know if you know this about Taylor, but there are always rumors. There's rumors that Miley may be on debut TV.
I had not heard that one.
So I don't know. My assumption is if that happens, first of all, they had beef for a while. They were friends. They had beef for a while. I think they're friendly again, ish. I don't see it, but maybe. And so people have been like, oh, is she going to put "Crazier" on debut TV? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe Miley would be on that with her. I don't know. But I just was like, oh, I loved it. First time in 15 years, and it's about Travis. This is the second time she has done "All of the Girls You Loved Before" in a Travisy montage. So I don't know. I think there's something there, but
always.
The night 3, she did "It's Nice to Have a Friend" and Dorothea, which we, I guess, know, air quotes, that Dorothea is about Selena. There's always a rumor that Selena's going to be on whatever's next. I would be more inclined to believe that Selena would be on a Taylor album than Miley.
I can see that.
So I'm going to say that I think there's something to that. And then she did "Haunted" and "Exile."
Oh.
Now listen, it is my favorite when she does "Exile" on tour, because I love to watch her hear the audience do the Bon Iver part, because they are so loud and she is so happy when they do it. And it sounds super cool.
I don't know. I'm much more emotional now than I ever was, but like for her to be sitting at a piano playing a song that she has written that means something to her, and then you hear thousands upon thousands of people singing this at the top of their lungs back to you, like, I don't know how you just don't have a moment every time you hear that. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I feel like they're always it's funny when you watch the live streams, because people in the comments on Tessa's channel will be like, the audience is so quiet. Listen, there ain't never a moment those people are quiet in that thing. I can tell you in both shows that I've been to. And obviously I had big songs, like really popular songs, but even in the songs that are not as popular, it is insanely loud. And it's in these countries, these people don't even speak English, and they are like, know every word perfectly.
Yes.
But that "Exile," when they sing back to her, I think is my absolute favorite on the audience participation. And the combination of "Haunted" and "Exile, I love it. Like, I love it. I did see yesterday that Taylor Nation, listen, I don't know who has taken over socials. It is definitely someone new. because the vibe is totally different and like way
They
more
picked up the
playful.
pace.
Yeah, it's increasing and it's way more playful and it's way more acknowledging of us, the people.
Yes.
Like yesterday they were asking questions. Well, first of all, yesterday Taylor Nation released a new Spotify playlist that is
Mhm.
all of the mashups. I mean, all the songs from Surprise Songs on a playlist, which a lot of people have already made that, but they put one out, which peculiar. And
Yeah.
then they asked yesterday, what surprise songs do you want to see added to the playlist this weekend? This weekend, she will be in Liverpool.
Mhm.
The 100th show is tomorrow night. What's today? Was it? Yeah, tomorrow night. So, of course, the blood is in the water. The Swifties are on the hunt. I mean, people, I have literally read so many theories. Like, I don't even know where to begin.
I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, every time a new theory comes up about what's going to happen, I'm like, you're right. That's for sure happening. I can't.
Becca cannot emotionally commit to any of the theories. However, I am the opposite. I get totally invested in almost every one of them. Some of them, y'all are outlandish. Some of them, y'all really, there's medicine for what you were doing.
Here's one of my thoughts on that. A lot of Easter eggs are in her clothing. Supposedly, that's what people say. Listen, there are days when I'm going to go out to dinner with friends or we're going out to do something and I've got an outfit planned in my head. And then like you go to put it on, I'm like, not feeling that today. Or I'd really rather that doesn't actually button right now. So you change your mind and just throw an outfit on. How many times does Taylor go out to dinner with friends and she just like changed her mind and put a different outfit on? And it's not an Easter egg, folks. It's just what she was comfortable in.
But
goes.
to be the devil's advocate to what Becca just said, it's not even just that she will be Easter eggy with her clothes. She has her friends do it too. Let me tell you, my friends tell me I got to wear a certain color, a certain something. I'm going to be pissed. Like, y'all know I need to be what I'm comfortable. Okay. Like,
right.
But it's funny that you bring this up because last night, apparently, in the UK, Taylor was out to dinner with a very interesting crew.
Very eclectic group.
Stella McCartney, that's not surprising. She's always with Stella, especially in the UK, and Cara Delevingne. Usually, anytime she's in the UK, she's with one of the two of them, if not both.
Yep.
Kate Moss, which that one was weird to me. Now, it's not weird for Taylor to be with models, clearly. But also, I don't remember Kate being a Stella McCartney model. So I was like, what is happening here? There's something to this because while the clothing and all these things may be Easter eggs, these pap walks and dinners are very planned. It has proven out this past year, even like different people she's been with, and then something happens. Like, so I thought the Kate Moss piece was weird. The one I always get confused, Phoebe Bridgers driver, whatever, the actress, not Phoebe Bridgers from Boy Genius. She was there, and then Andrew Scott. Very weird group. And what made a reappearance? The necklace from the Grammys, the clock.
Maybe it's just your favorite piece of jewelry, guys.
It can't be. That thing is ugly. I'm sure it's worth like $5 bazillion, but it's just such a weird, and it's not a Taylor piece, so it's weird.
It's not, and it makes no sense. And until we get Rep TV, I do not care. I don't care. I can't.
Okay, so by the time you get back from Hawaii, show 100 will have happened.
Yes.
Everyone is convinced. Tomorrow is June 13th, which is Taylor's half birthday. It's 13. It's her favorite number. It's show 100. It's in Liverpool. We're in the UK. So many things. She announced Lover on June 13th of 2019. There's just a million theories. So do you think anything will happen tomorrow night?
No. I don't think the blessed thing is happening.
Well, that's all we have for you, folks. Okay.
When people get so riled up about something has to happen because of this, and this, and then nothing happens. So I'm just going to stay in my camp of literally nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Just like when I stayed in my camp of she's not releasing a new album before TTPD. And I was clearly wrong.
Told you. Yeah.
I'm okay in being wrong in that. My heart I can't get my hopes up.
We talked about TS12 last week with the oranging. Y'all, stop.
No, stop. I need you to tell your theory from your text this morning about what Travis said and the leap you made from that. That needs to be shared with people so they understand what I'm dealing with.
But when I'm right, I'm going to be
I'll give you flowers. When you're right, I will give you your flowers. But until then.
Right. So, okay. So this theory, I'm going to tell what I said this morning to Becca in text, but then I'm also going to say that was like 4, maybe 5 hours ago now. And it's kind of evolved in my head a little as it does usually.
Of course.
Sometimes I barely get the text out and then I'm like, oh, but what about? Okay. So when TTPD came out, Taylor started this whole like YouTube Shorts kind of like contest. It wasn't really a contest. It was just like a challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
And she made a little short. I guess that's what they're called. I mean, clearly I sound like I'm 95 right now. But it was all these different clips from different events. There was one of her playing pickleball. And there were, I think everyone's favorite moment was she was cooking and Travis like leans in and kisses her, which I still wonder who was filming that. But anyway, I think he was because of the angle. But anyway, Benjamin, her cat, was in it. And I think that is, there's something to the Benjamin piece. Also the cinnamon rolls that she's like famous for making, allegedly. I mean, I guess that's not an alleged thing. We know that she does do that. That is in there too. So that all happened when TTPD came out, like literally that weekend. Well, flash forward to last week, all of a sudden Taylor Nation, this new intern who re-releases the challenge, like, hey, go put up your Fortnite videos. And they re-released Taylor's, and Benjamin is still in it, but in a whole different way. So everyone's like, okay, something is up. Nothing is accidental. Like, what is up with that? And then if you will remember too, on TTPD, there are cat prints on some of the graphics. And so that was why, like, there was the theory that LOML was going to be about Benjamin, the love of her life, which was wackadoodle. But listen, these people should be medicated anyway. I like how I refer to them like I am clearly not telling you some psychotic theory that I have.
Right.
So all this to say, yesterday, Travis does open mic part after mandatory practice. Someone asked a cute question about what is like cooking with Taylor, or I think she said your significant other. And he was really cute, did his usual like blushing. And he said you could tell he kind of wanted to answer it, or he was trying to think of an answer. And then he was like, I'm going to keep that to myself because I actually really enjoy that. So then the rest of the interview happens. And then as he's walking off the mic, he kind of leans back and he's like, but Taylor makes really good Pop-Tarts and cinnamon rolls.
Which was such a random thing to jump back in and say.
Which tells me that there is something to that. Like, and I think as giddy as he got, he's like, I'm in on the Easter egg is what I got. So I took all of that to mean there's a music video coming.
How you made that, I will never understand.
Listen, also this past week, we've been speculating what's the next single. Is there going to be another music video? It was always like said that there were going to be 2 music videos for TTPD. We obviously have the Fortnite. We don't have a second one. We don't have another single. Fortnite has come off Billboard Top 10. So it's like, it's time. There was a lot of video footage that Taylor Nation put up this week about the day that she recorded Florida with Florence and the Machine. And then they have tweeted a lot of things that have had the word Florida in it. So maybe it's a Florida. I will be so stunned if that is the one that becomes another video. Not only because that's maybe not our favorite song, but also like the other video single is a duet. I would be surprised if she did that twice. But then the 2s are 2ing is what I was also thinking. So then I was also thinking Fortnite means 2 weeks. The 2s are 2ing. I don't know. Then I, of course, went completely into in Edinburgh. She made some very offhand remarks about releasing things very close together.
Yes.
Again, nothing is ever accidental with Taylor. There's something definitely to that. My theory is not that debut and rep will come out as a double drop, but I think they will be very close together. Okay. I am still convinced that Rep TV is June 21st, London. I still am like all in on that theory. There's a little part of me that wonders if debut will be announced tomorrow.
I mean, we're here for it. If you want to announce them, if you want to drop them, we're good with that.
I'm going to say it's not that, though, because I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe debut is going to come out on her birthday. There's no reason for her to announce something 6 months in advance. Yeah. So I'm telling you, tomorrow's a music video. I'm leaning towards, I think it's Florida. I'm not loving that idea, but that's what I think it is.
Here's the thing. All of this could make sense. There's theories and everything that support it, and it could make sense. It'll be interesting to see how she drops when she drops, because I would also venture to guess that when she drops a re-release of an album, it's also probably got to be in some time frame for some kind of awards, so that it still fits within.
Well, but
some of that, especially if there's vault tracks, if there's brand new music.
Well, now I will say, you guys have come up with some amazing theories. I absolutely love the theory that Rep will have no vault tracks, but we already know that it does because she herself has said that the Rep vault tracks are fire. And yes. I love the idea that she releases Rep, and then the second drop to that is finally Karma, and it's orange, so you people can calm down, and that's all vault tracks. I'm in.
Listen, I could get in on that. And that Karma album would probably be one of her best.
Oh just my gosh.
The petty aspect that we love. You know that those were written during a point of extreme rage.
Yeah. So that's our Taylor news. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do a quick. Maybe if something happens tomorrow, maybe we'll do a quick go live on our social media. I don't know, guys. Don't hold us to that. Well, you won't even hear this until after. I don't know. That whole thing didn't make sense. Anyway, we'll see.
Awesome.
In great news, we have audience questions again.
We do. We got a lot.
Very good. So yeah, we've got a lot of questions to get to because we have our question game that I come up with. Do you want to do audience first or our question game?
Let's do audience first, just so we make sure we get that in.
Yeah. All right. So from Cole, who is the most underrated NFL star in your opinion and why? You go.
Love this question. Yep. I didn't go all time. I just went current players.
Yeah, I went current too.
Okay. So I did Dallas Goedert. He's a tight end for Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. I don't know why I ride for him so hard, but I'm a huge fan.
I mean, she loves it. I don't know.
He's never one that you really hear in the tight end conversation because you always hear Travis, you always hear George Kittle. In those, he was behind Zach Ertz in the Pro Bowl, so you didn't really hear that for a few years. And he's usually the third target on the Eagles offense. Like, he's not your first go-to typically like Travis was. But in the last 2 seasons, he has actually led the league in yards per target. So, the guy's still putting up some real insane stats, but he's just not a name that you typically hear. Yeah. And I think I pay attention more on the Eagles because I watch them a lot with Jason Kelce and Jalen Hurts on there. So that's who I went with for underrated right now. But I'm interested to hear who you pick.
I should have guessed you would say that. I went Trey Smith from the Chiefs. Obviously, I told y'all last week I adored him at the celebrity softball game. But also, I kind of did some research on him. Did you know that he's one of just 3 players to have played more than 4,000 snaps over the past 3 seasons? Y'all, in the NFL, that is clearly unheard of. There's only 3 people.
Yeah.
But also, he's got a 76.5 overall grade. He ranks 11th among guards. So that's why I was saying kind of a underdog type guy.
Right.
But obviously consistent. And again, I just love him now. So,
yeah.
Okay, from Lindsay, we know Taylor is going to be on Gracie's new album, which we were so close to that coming out. And I will say, note for the audio, that Gracie's doing a lot of listener parties and she is not playing the Taylor song. She and Sabrina have done a fantastic job of taking a note from Taylor on how to do things, and it is paying off. But anyway, But do you think she will be on any other albums coming out this year? And if yes, who? And people, these are more than one question.
Right.
And whose album would you like to see her on that has already been announced?
So I still go in the camp of I don't ever think she's going to be on anybody's album.
Okay.
And I just stay surprised when she shows up on somebody's because I can't even fathom how you have time to do this. How you have time to go and record songs, which maybe in her world is like a quick jump on a plane, go do that for an hour, and then I'm back. Right. But I don't think that she'll be on anybody else's album. I don't even know whose album I would want to hear on because I'm not a huge collabs person. Because I'm really just bored when it comes to that. I don't like the mashups. I don't like the collabs. They're not bad. It's just not what I typically would pick. I'm always surprised by them. When she did the collab with Post Malone on Fortnite, at first I was like, that's going to be a real weird mix with those voices. Surprised me. I really enjoyed it. So we'll kind of see on that. But if she were to do a collab with someone, I would more want to see or hear a song that her and Kelly Clarkson write together. I don't necessarily need to hear them sing it together. I think that would be great. I would love for them to collab on writing one together.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I am the opposite of Becca as usual. No. I'm super pumped about the Gracie collab. I love Gracie Abrams. She just has this genuine appeal, like genuine spirit to her. So I'm super excited about that. I do think she is on 2 more albums that are coming out this year. I'm a believer in the theory that the rumor that she was going to be on three collabs this year. And so I do think that she is going to be on Sabrina Carpenter's new album. And I told you this last week, I think she's going to be on Katy Perry's new album.
Which will be very interesting.
You know, Katy's having some secret listening parties as well. There's been rumors from those that she definitely had some collabs. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Of the albums that have been announced, though, I want her on the Lady Gaga album.
Oh, okay.
I just think their voices together would be super interesting in a like haunting ballad, Taylor playing the piano kind of thing.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here for Taylor on anything though, so I'm good with whatever. All right, from Maddie with D's, not T. Maddie Healy is not sending anything in. If you had to vote out one member of Taylor's, and this is in quote, bitch pack, who would it be and why? I'm not calling them that. I think that this is I told you, I think this is referencing that she says this in Last Great American Dynasty about when she bought the house and brought her friends from New York. So we're not calling people that. This one was tough for me, I'll be honest. Who did you go with?
I went with Cara Delevingne. I just listen.
On her.
I don't know why. There's something there that I just don't fully trust. So I've always got my guard up with her. I don't know what it is. It's a me problem. 100%. This is a me problem.
Okay. I'll let that go because I'm not going to get into the lore. And
you having to answer this question was probably very painful.
It is. And I'm very conflicted with my answer, but I'm not going to get into the lore and speculation about why I still think you're wrong about that answer, but I will text you to remind me about why I think that that's wrong. Okay. So this person I would say too is on the peripheral of the bitch pack, if you will.
Okay.
I went Lana Del Rey. And
I can get behind that.
That's a little tough for me because I do like Lana's music. Lana's problematic.
I feel like she plays both sides.
And even in some statements she made in an interview this past week, again, she talked about that Taylor has told her a lot that she wants it more than anyone, and that's why she works harder. Yeah. I felt like there was a dig in that comment. I feel like every time Lana makes a statement, even when she made her statements about Snow on the Beach, she made that comment about how, you know, if she feels like a song is perfect, she'll be a producer on it. And she was like, you know, I was all over the first version of Snow on the Beach, but I can just match people's vocals perfectly. And so people didn't know. And that's why they came out with the second version. I don't know. I don't know. And then, you know, she's in the Skims thing. I don't know. So I went Lana.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good pick.
Okay, from Andrew. If the world is ending, this person must be just like you. And you can only save one of the Kelsey bros. Who do you pick? And of course, why?
Okay. To me, I felt like this was easy. I'm saving Travis. And the reason I'm saving him is because Kylie's already on it. So she's already saved Jason. Travis.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
All over the place. Taylor's not there to save him.
No. She's going to need saving of her own. They both are a cluster. So
Jason's already been saved. So we got to save Travis. That's how I did
it. That is a really great theory. I went with saving Jason. It was very hard for me because I do not need anything happening to Trav. But I went with Jason because he's a father and someone needs to save those children. And then also, I felt like he could save more people.
Okay.
Like he could get the village out where Trav would be like, what? I don't know. Like that's just how they strike me. I don't know.
No, I think that's probably 100% accurate.
All right. So is it Ainsley?
That's how I've usually heard that spelling pronounced.
Okay. If I got that wrong, I'm so sorry. You've mentioned wanting to work for Taylor Swift before. Have we? I had no idea. And you all like the Would You Rather game. Facts. Would you rather be responsible for keeping up with Taylor's guitars or her cats while traveling with her? This one was conflicting again for me.
Really?
Yeah, okay. And I hate cats.
I like guitars.
Okay.
I can't be responsible for something else that breathes. Okay. I don't want it. No, thank you. And if a guitar gets lost or broken, I can buy a new one. You can't.
Okay.
You can't bring a cat back to life here.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Check. So I hate cats, like loathe them. But I went with cats. And the reason was because I felt like with the guitars, they were easily replaceable. And like for the majority of the show, she's not playing the guitar. So the show will go on. If we are down a cat, though, I feel like we're going to have some emotions and I'm going to be fired. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to get fired.
Right. So then don't be in charge of the cats.
Mm-mm.
Then it's not our fault.
I went cats because I'm a martyr. I will put my life down. I will save those felines. And so I went cats. Begrudgingly because I do not like them. I don't care how cute they are. I do think it's cool that hers does the yoga pose, but I'm out. Okay, so those were our audience questions. We've got some more.
So good, guys.
They're so good. We've got some really good ones that have come in that I'm going to hold until Becca is back. I don't know if I'll give any to our guest next week. We'll see. But I came up with our question game for the day.
You did.
This has become my specialty. I should put it on my LinkedIn.
You really should. I'll take that resume.
So we're going to start. I've got two sections, of course. We're going to do the Kiss, Marry, Kill and why, of course. Now I want to preface before we start this one. There are some that are about like individuals. I don't want you to pick based on looks or like, do you find them attractive? Like not that part. Okay. All right. Kiss, Marry, Kill. If you're unfamiliar with the game, kiss, like you crushing on them, marry them, you love them, or kill, like you clearly do not like them.
Yeah.
All right. Lover, reputation, or folklore?
Okay. So for this one, I would kiss reputation because that's just a really fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Blast and be petty with. I would marry lover.
Yeah.
Because so many of our favorite songs come on there. So I feel like I've got to have some allegiance to it.
Yeah.
Commit to that one. And then kill, I picked folklore just because it's not one I typically will like pick up to listen to. So I'm like, I guess I could do without that one, but the other two I got to keep.
Okay. So mine are going to be surprising. Okay. So back in the beginning of the show, like when this show began, we came to the startling discovery that a lot of our favorite songs were on Lover, right. Which neither one of us thought was like reality, but it is, or was. For me, that has changed. I think in light of everything we know now and how things have kind of evolved and new albums, new songs, new theories, Lover has slipped for me.
Okay.
And so I'm going to kill Lover. I know, tough. I know. I'm going to marry Reputation because, again, my favorite Taylor is Petty Taylor. And then I'm going to kiss Folklore. I'm kind of in that Folklore Evermore TTPD vibe right now. And so I know I was shocked when I made the list too.
Okay.
I'm all over the place today. Okay. College football, NFL, WNBA.
Okay. This one I struggled with just a smidge.
Okay.
I'll get into it. But I'm going to marry college football. That one I feel like I have to commit to because that's what gave me my love of sports. I grew up on college football.
Okay.
So I went with marry that.
So that's like marrying your high school boyfriend, but okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Sure.
Then I'm going to kiss the NFL because it is just one of the joys of my life.
Okay.
Getting to watch. So then I had to kill WNBA. And I just picked that one because that's the newest one that I was like, well, I'm not super in a committed relationship with yet.
All right.
We'll get rid of it.
Dave Portnoy, if you are listening, we still want a show on Barstool. Please ignore everything that Becca just said. Okay.
I have thoughts.
I know. They're dangerous is the problem, though.
They'll change next week. It's fine.
It's true. I was a little surprised by my picks on this one. Was hard for me too. I actually am going to kill college football, and that is tough because just like you, obviously, that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
But you know my annoyance with the NIL and the transfer portal.
That's fair.
And being a Razorback fan.
I'm just tough.
Now, I will say I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out because of the strangest of occurrences. This past weekend, I took my son to the Arkansas football camp. And two guys that used to play for the Razorbacks that I know from a past life came up to me, and I know that you guys listen to the podcast, and I am still as floored as I was when you told me Travis is one of their names. I didn't know that you even knew I still existed. So I love that. And I want to give you guys a shout out because I have to say, as deplorable as the Razorbacks have been lately, that football camp was fantastic. So well run. The players, the coaches, everything was fantastic. But I just am still floored that you guys are listening. But so I'm going to have to kill college football. I am going to marry the NFL because I feel like it's just been a good reprieve to still give me my football, but it has its annoyances too.
Right.
Nothing gets under my skin the way the NIL and transfer portal does. And then I'm going to kiss the WNBA because it's a new love for us. We're like evolving into this. But yeah.
Okay.
This next one was probably one of the hardest ones for me. Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler, and Justin Thomas.
Okay. So first off, Grayson was helping me with a few of these, and I was trying to explain the kiss, marry, kill rule. Like, we're not actually going to marry these people, and we're not actually killing anyone. So we're good. So once he got that, he was a little bit better.
Okay.
So some of them we don't agree on, but he helped me on this one.
Okay.
So we're going to marry Scotty Scheffler because all around he is the best player by far, and he's just a genuinely good dude and fun to watch. We're going to kiss Justin Thomas.
Okay.
Because he went to University of Alabama. And then we are going to kill Jordan Spieth because he went to the University of Texas, Austin. And we do not stand the Longhorns in this household.
Listen, okay, so it's so funny. I have the exact same picks, but actually what I struggled with was the fact that I was going to kiss Justin Thomas and he went to Alabama. And it just pained me to Jordan, but I was okay with it because he went to UT. So
there you go. See,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, these three were like all over the place, but it was based on a conversation Aaron and I were having. So Bleachers, Kendrick Lamar, and Kelly Clarkson.
Okay, so I went marry Kelly Clarkson. I just do no wrong, and I love all of her things that she puts out. I'm gonna kiss Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
And kill the Bleachers. And this is only because I probably listen to more Kendrick Lamar than I do the Bleachers. So that was really how I picked between those two, because I sat and stared at the screen for quite some time on this one.
Yeah. So I had a real hard time on this one. I'm also marrying Kelly Clarkson. I agree. Just I love everything about her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kiss the bleachers and I'm gonna kill Kendrick Lamar. And I have to tell you, it kills me to even say that because I am a Kendrick Lamar stan. I fight Aaron on this every day. But I did this based on the bleachers give me like and have the ability to give me a variety of music as opposed to just one genre. And so and I think I'm just on a bleachers kick right now. It's very summery to me. And so
that's true.
It's tough though, because I love Kendrick. Okay. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, or Cameron Brink?
Okay. Well, I picked Mary Caitlin Clark.
Oh, okay.
I told you she's starting to grow back on me again.
Oh my gosh, you are so wishy-washy. Okay.
I really, when it comes to WNBA, I'm real wishy-washy.
Okay.
I'm gonna kiss Cameron Brink.
Okay.
Which Grayson did not agree with these. He flipped them because he says Cameron Brink. He goes, she's beautiful.
Okay.
So
yep.
he
You're
flipped
right,
them. Obviously, we're gonna get rid of Angel Reese. And I feel like that does not need a why.
Yeah, same on Angel Reese. I flipped. I'm with Grayson on this, not based on the same reasoning though. I'm gonna kiss Caitlin Clark because I'm struggling with her on-court behavior, and I'm gonna marry Cameron Brink. Like I said earlier, I think her demeanor and the statements she's been putting out and stuff with the media, I'm super impressed.
Okay. I like that.
Okay, I'm interested to see where you and Grayson went on this one. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay. So we agreed we're both going to marry Patrick Mahomes. Best player overall. You got to stick with him.
Okay.
I put that I was going to kiss Isaiah Pacheco.
Holy crap.
Because he's so quick and he's so young and he's just so much fun to watch lately.
Okay.
And then I put that I was going to kill Travis Kelce because he's getting a little older and this gives him the opportunity to go do other things we can see him in.
Okay. Did Grayson?
No. When I typed Travis's name,
oh God,
kill, Grayson's eyes got this big. And
mine too. Yeah.
What is Taylor going to do?
That's right, my guy. That's right. How dare you?
He backspace. Like I had to retype a couple times. He kept hitting backspace, and I was like,
him. I feel like this was. I should have put this question. I should not have made this a question. I'm gonna marry Patrick again. Overall best player. I'm gonna kill Isaiah Pacheco. Because great season last year, right?
Yeah.
We'll see this year. He runs so hard. I just am worried about longevity.
He's fine. He's young. He's fine.
Okay. But I don't know that. And I am going to kiss Travis. I know this isn't supposed to be about the attraction level, but I mean, no, longevity, talk about Mr. Consistent, like rallies the troops. Like I just could never say that. I don't know who you are. Okay. Let's see. This one I threw in for you. Hallmark movies, New Heights, and Taylor's music.
Okay. So here's what I put. I'm marrying Hallmark movies. It is the true love of mine. Yeah. They are the cringiest things in the world. And I never miss a single one. Ever. I love them. So I'm going to kiss Taylor's music. Because again, I'm in this new Swiftie world and I'm starting to realize just how great she is. And then exactly what I put. I'm going to kill New Heights, ... but I'm praying for a miracle resurrection.
Won't he do it? Okay. Well, I'm going to kill Hallmark movies because I think they're.
Of course you are.
I'm going to kiss New Heights. And I'm going to marry Taylor's music because I can't live without it. So,
That's fair.
And last one, Blake Lively, Jennifer Lawrence, and Emma Stone.
Okay. I feel like we married the same one. We're marrying Blake Lively on this.
Don't you know it? Like,
listen, I could marry that woman any day.
I'm as straight as an arrow, and I would say yes today. Mm-hmm.
She's hilarious. She's gorgeous. Love her.
Beautiful.
I'm going to kiss Emma Stone because I've always been an Emma Stone fan way back when. Mm-hmm. There's really not a movie I've missed of her, so I went that. And then I killed Jennifer Lawrence only for the mere reason, like, she's just not one of my top ones that I always, like, think about, or I'm like, oh, I got to see it because she's in it. So that's how I picked those.
Yeah, I definitely married Blake Lively because I feel about Blake Lively. I'm gonna kiss Emma Stone as well because she's so funny to me.
Hilarious.
And I love funny. Like that can
Yeah.
triumph over a lot to me. And then I killed Jennifer Lawrence simply based on I think she's a little weird sometimes. I like her, but I think she's a little different. And so I don't know. I don't need creepy around
Fair.
this one.
Okay.
All right, we got that. And then that's the end of Kiss Mary Kill. And then I made a question for you.
You did. I liked this one.
So I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy in 2013. Now, here's the thing. That should have probably been the end of it, but here we are 11 years later and
Still going
strong. And I brought this question in for Becca because it is something she is loyal to, but also our boy Travis confirmed that Taylor also still watches Grey's Anatomy. I have not. I feel like I'm still watching it because of TikTok, but I'm not. But I feel like I know. Like you mentioned an intern that I knew who it was, even though I haven't watched it. Now I did not put him into this because I didn't know enough to be able to pick anything. But in a recent interview, Jessica Capshaw said Arizona would have been the album 1989 with a dash of Lover. Camilla Luddington said Joe's album was Midnights. Do you agree with their choices?
Yeah, I agreed on that because Joe's character is very like moody and dark. And so I felt like Midnights definitely fit the vibe of her character. You got an anti-hero, you're on your own kid, vigilante shit. That was perfect for her.
Okay.
And then Arizona, her character's kind of all over the place. She's not in Grey's Anatomy as much anymore. But I do feel like 1989 with some Lover makes sense with I Wish You Could, I Know Places.
Yeah.
That kind of, so it seems like that was pretty accurate for them. Which
Okay.
again, it's fun knowing that these people enjoy Taylor's music.
Yeah, they both are big Swifties. They've been to shows. And Jessica Capshaw even talked about like way back in the day, I think the 1989 tour, or maybe it was Rep, but yeah, like they are big Swifties. Sandra Oh is a big Swiftie. I got to see Sandra Oh. She was as close as 3 feet from me at my show on the other side of Carly. Anyway, all right. I don't know enough on that one. So, but it kind of comes into the next part too.
Yeah.
So which Taylor album fits your favorite Grey's characters? And of course, Meredith herself. So you gave me your favorite characters. You did not include Meredith Grey, but I was like, we have to have her. I mean, so I had to trump you on that.
That's
so
fair.
Let's start. You gave me a list. Again, I did not include the intern, but we're going to start with the first one on your list, which was Miranda Bailey.
Yes.
Okay.
So for Miranda, I went the Fearless album.
So did I. Okay. So I was wondering if I'm going to be like way off because I've been out of it for so long, but that's validating. Okay, great.
Yeah. We did Fearless for Miranda because she's always kind of getting back up and fighting. And I feel like that's kind of the theme of that whole album. Okay. For Alex Karev, I went TTPD. He's very tortured past lover. He got over
I struggled with this, so I almost picked TTPD for him. I went Lover. Okay, because of the storyline of like all the Izzy stuff, and then he marries Joe, and then he like up and vanishes back to what is it, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, whatever, with Izzy. Wait, are they here in Kansas?
I don't remember where they end up.
Oh my gosh,
I was so done with him for that letter. I blacked it out.
That was rough.
Yeah.
But I went Lover because just that whole storyline and now kind of knowing the conflictedness of Lover. But I had TTPD and I.
Did you?
Yep. All right. Jackson Avery.
Okay. I went back and forth on a few for him, but I landed on Evermore. That one, I feel like that one deals a lot with like the ideas of love and marriage, infidelity and grief. And I feel like his storyline goes through all of that with like April and the death of his father. And I don't know.
He's one I'm less familiar with. I mean, I knew everything that you just said, but I'm a little less familiar with his like nitty gritty. I went Reputation. Is that what
that was the other one that I was?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if I was like way off, especially when you just said Evermore. I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong planet. Okay.
I didn't want to get two characters the same one. So I was like, I gotta put something different.
Okay. In your
Yeah.
list of favorites on Addison Montgomery, you said, I can't remember what you said, but you said something, and I was like, oh, we have vastly different feelings about Addison. She's probably my favorite character, and I got the vibe that she's not your favorite.
So I despised her character for the longest time. And I watched Private Practice, which was
Me
kind of
too. I loved Private Practice.
I did not like her on there. I did not like her character mixed with the Meredith and how they had the affairs going on, and her so I didn't like her. I like her now. She comes back a few times to do things now, and I like how they've kind of made her story arc. So I'm becoming a bigger fan of hers.
Okay.
Yeah. So for her, I went 1989. Just I feel like that was kind of Taylor's shift when she went to New York, and you're kind of starting over. And so for me, that was really Addison's character with like, you get out of the marriage with Derek, and like now you're off the show, but your storyline continues to grow, and we see you in this new role, and making huge names for her, or a huge name for herself out into the medical world. So I felt like 1989 fit her vibe a little bit more.
Okay. So I was conflicted on this one because she is my favorite character, but I couldn't really get one that was the right vibe for me. So I picked Red. And maybe it's because she has red hair. I don't know. But also for the storyline, with Derek and
Meredith?
No.
Oh,
Eric Dane's character.
yeah.
Why is it not in my brain?
Because all I can think of is McDreamy and McSteamy.
My God.
I can't think of his actual name on the show.
Yeah. Anyway, that storyline. But then also on Private Practice, when she ends up dating Taye Diggs after he was married to Naomi.
Yeah. Things got
that
weird.
gave me John Mayer vibes. And so
Okay.
So I went Red.
I like that.
But yeah, I love her though. Okay. You did not include Meredith Grey, but I would like to know what album. Something collapsed behind me, but I have no idea what it was.
So
what album do you think is Meredith?
I did Reputation for Meredith. And I did it more so because she has a lot to prove with her mother's name, and how all of that kind of transpired, and how I feel like she always comes back on top of things that she does, like her resident class that she was in. Mm-hmm. She was, always fighting. And so I always felt like Reputation was a good one for her because she had to be petty a lot of times.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I went TTPD. I don't know that there's ever been a more tortured character on TV than Meredith Grey. Like, could one more thing happen to her?
But they all, like, we're 21 seasons in, like, they've all got some dark things.
Yeah. And I think, like, but Daddy, I love him. It's like, even once she found out Derek was married, that, and then even with all the other people she dated after that, there was always kind of but I love him kind of thing. Florida, I kind of connected that to her going to Boston, and that whole vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. All right. Are we ready for Y Factor?
Let's do it.
All right. Shall you begin with, let's start with the dislikes. I like ending on a good note. So let's go with the dislike.
So for dislike this week, I'm not loving that adults don't get a summer break.
Okay. Same. Valid.
We're having to work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, most of us. It just feels like the wrong vibe to not give us, we don't get Christmas breaks, spring breaks, summer breaks.
Okay.
Listen, I'm here for advocating for summer breaks and a 4-day work week. So any legislation needs me, just call me up.
I mean, I'm down. I am down. I just had that conversation with a friend this week. Like, what moron thought, like, 5-day work week, 2-day weekend?
I can get this stuff done in 3 days if you ask.
Shoot, I can do 2 if we're really pushing it. Okay. I went with, I am not appreciating these highly paid athletes not showing up for mandatory minicamp. Shows a lack of leadership, dedication, integrity, and just character.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Here's looking at you, Aaron Rodgers. You sucker. All right. And what are you liking?
So what I'm liking this week is probably never going to be another thing that I'm liking. I'm loving my kids being on summer break this week. But if you ask me that in 1 or 2 more weeks, we've had a lot of togetherness. Not going to be the right answer.
Hey, yeah,
I enjoy having them home. I enjoy all the family stuff that you get to do. Doug and I both work from home, so it's just a lot of family time. So the beginning of the summer, I really thrive in that environment.
Okay.
But give us, a few more days together, and my answer is probably going to change.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, you're gonna have that vacation in there, so we're gonna have to wait for like 2 weeks after that. Then I'll check back in on that. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually have 2, and I cannot pick.
Okay, doing both then.
Tried to force myself, and I can't do it. In the vein of our conversation just a moment ago about Grey's Anatomy, Jessica Capshaw and Camilla Luddington have a podcast called Call It What It Is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking it. I love their friendship and their vibe. But they just recently put out one where they interviewed Mandy Moore. So good.
Okay.
Totally recommend. And I'm not an anti-Mandy Moore person, but I'm not like, I don't ride hard for her. It's actually really good though.
I'm gonna have to check that one.
And then this other one, okay, now I have had this happen multiple times in my Y Factor, that there is a show I'm going to bring up that I have not actually ever seen on a television. I'm only watching it via TikTok.
Love it.
That is this show that I'm about to bring up. It's called Hacks. With
I've seen a lot of that
show. Yeah. Okay. So it's got Jean Smart, and I love her.
I love her.
It also has Caitlin Olsen, who I adore.
Okay.
And I think this is the premise of the show. It's like this kind of mentor vibe between Jean Smart's character, and she's like this legendary Vegas comic. And then there's like this really young comedy writer who's like really entitled. She's from a very like well-to-do family, but she's kind of gotten outcast from the scene.
Okay.
But here's why I love it. So the Jean Smart, I'm totally in. I just love her. And it has good writing. But what I really love about it is at the end of every episode, well, again, I'm assuming this happens on it's what happens on TikTok. So I'm inaccurate. I don't know that. But what happens at the end of every episode, I think, is that the writers come on and talk about why they did whatever they did in that episode.
Oh,
and
that's interesting.
Here we are on Y Space. I love it. And I'm very interested to see the trajectory of, does that doom the show because it like kind of ruins the intrigue of what's going to happen next?
Let you look behind the curtain.
Yeah. Or is it like a whole new world in entertainment, which I would love, and it fits totally with our vibe. I think it's super cool. They have like, as best I can tell, there's probably 4, maybe 5 writers. There's like 3 or 4 that are mainly in the videos explaining kind of why they wrote it. But basically the show, it's like 2 different generations of women talking about whatever they think it takes to like actually succeed. So it's really interesting to hear the writers, why they take each character kind of where they do. Again, I don't know if that's reality. It's TikTok reality. So, but I love that idea.
It's been like one on my list and I'm like, I should really watch that because I always hear such good things about it.
Yeah, again, I don't know if it's like legit. I don't know how many seasons. I know nothing other than what I have conjured up on TikTok.
That's all we need.
But I love it. So
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I've got. Anything else for the audience before you head off to Hawaii and perhaps heaven? I don't know.
Listen, I think we're good. I think we're always be prepared, folks. Always be prepared.
Well, thank you all for listening. And if you are listening and you even kind of remotely might like what we're talking about, if you would hit follow on whatever app you're listening or watching us on, that would be fantastic. We have nothing to offer you as a thanks other than our hearty appreciation.
That's from our heart, guys.
So, all right. Well, thanks, y'all.
All right. Bye, guys.